Christopher Walken aside, hey, you wanna finally talk about an episode that's actually good?
It's pretty neat, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wish there was more plot, but yeah, this is a pretty good one. I do have one big complaint, and it's like, I wonder if you kind of know where I'm going with this.
No?
There was, like, a way more clever way they could have done the card game.
How so?
So, alright, so here's the thing. It's like, episode starts, you know, the big premise is that it's like, alright, Paimon's running a circus, and he's, like, turning kids into cards. And it's like, yeah, he is, like, trying to, like, harvest kids to better cards for his, like, you know, playing card deck. And he challenges, like, no, Rui challenges him to, like, you know, a contest or whatever to, like, free the kids, if I remember right. And it's like, okay, they have a big card game where it's like, alright, the fate of these kids rests on these cards. And it's like, okay, Rui touches one of the cards, and she hears in her mind, like, the screams of the child, and she's like, oh, what? And Paimon's like, oh yeah, each of these cards is a child. And
maybe
he,
I know where you're going with this, because I think I had the same thought.
Yeah, and he's, like, explaining the rules, and it's like, okay, yo, like, whoever gets the, like, stronger card wins, and you have to, like, yo, just pick the card that beats your opponent's card. So it's, like, a game of luck. Except, we've established that if you touch the card, you can, like, hear the noises of the child. So I'm like, oh, alright, this is gonna be really cool, yo, cause, like, yeah, Rui can, like, you know, like, touch the card, and she'd kind of, like, you know, gauge, like, okay, you know, like, which of these, like, kids feels like, you know, the most, like, courageous, you know, and may she, like, you know, intuit, like, which of these, like, screams is, like, you know, the most, like, brave or whatever, which of them's, like, handling it the best, and she's like, wait, you know, they seem like, you know, they're, like, hold it together really well. I think the right card is this one. And it's like, they don't really do that. It's just pure luck. And, like, Paimon's like, wow, you're so strong and good at this.
So I have a better way it could have been solved.
Okay.
So, when they run into the tent to save all the kids and Angoramon, who had been captured earlier in the episode, they walk in as a girl makes it across the tightrope and is turned into a card.
Yeah.
She should have been turned into an ace.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good.
And they hear her scream as she does it, as she's transformed. And so Ruli touches a card and hears her and remembers her voice, and it's like, oh, she's the one that got turned into the ace. This is the card I need to use to win.
Yeah, she touches... at first I was like, okay, is this going to be how the game works? Because it's like, yo, of course, Paimon's like an evil Digimon, yo. Maybe he's like, he just, like, touches the cards and he's like, okay, like, yo, I've memorized the screams of all these children, yo, this is, like, my advantage. And, you know, maybe he's, like, toying with her a bit, maybe he's letting her get to a draw for the sake of it, and he pulls the, like, you know, King of Hearts, and Rui's like, oh, but, you know, how do I beat him? And she's like, oh, wait, you know, this scream, maybe it's that person, but, you know, can I be sure, right? And she's like, you know, what are the odds? And it's like, yeah, that would have been so much better, holy crap.
Yeah. Although, everything being determined by pure luck, like, because I don't get the impression that Paimon is cheating at all.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because where's the fun in that, right?
Right, yeah. Like, this should have been like, you know, oh, hey, they're going back and forth, and Rui's, like, trying to figure out the thing as she goes.
Yeah. Also, I like some of the Digimon they use in this episode. Flare Wizardmon's pretty cool.
Yeah, I should, like, bring this image up real quick. I forget what they're called. It's, like, Flare Wizardmon, and, like, a different one. This is, like, I think it's, like, what is it, Toby Catmon or something?
I don't know. The lion?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that thing?
Well,
I have no idea
yeah.
what that is.
I forget what the name is, but yeah, apparently this is its first, like, anime appearance.
Yeah,
So,
I don't
yeah,
think I've
that's
ever
pretty
seen
neat,
this thing before. It looks like something Harrismon would turn into.
Yeah. Which is
just
weird
like,
because Harrismon's
yeah. just like color and design wise.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, this is a weird one because it's like it looks so cute, but it's like it's wearing a kind of like weird mask. It seems. Yeah, it's not sure what to think about. It's a very odd design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Possumon, who actually makes an appearance in the 2020 reboot.
Yeah. And I said ruins
But
the whole focus of the episode. She also seems to be the lucky one to face the first to rob the next evil lulls. First ultimate, no mega. Okay, yeah. First ultimate, now mega. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah. Yeah, that was the art
also,
Oh, go ahead.
Also, holy crap, anytime Lamormon gets a chance to fight, the animation goes crazy.
Oh, yeah, this is like... The fight with Lamortmon is, like, so brief, but so nuts.
It looks like Flo said it already. This episode is animated fantastically, but especially the part where Lamortmon, like, which I like, and Goramon evolves into Simba, and Goramon really just like keep going, and then it's like evolves into Lamormon, and then he just goes nuts on Mephismon.
Yeah, Mephistomon.
Yeah.
Because Mephistomon's like, well, this is no fair. Of course the girl cheated. I'm gonna kill her. And Lamortmon just tackles him and just goes crazy. And he's like, Rory, no cheat. Yo, she win.
He used his sword as part of... Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
He's just slashing him up like crazy. Piedmon's just like, okay, turn into a card, and he's like, sorry about that.
Yeah. Right, that's another thing, cause it's like, of course, Piedmon has all these demon Digimon with him, right? Because of course, he's like, kind of like, demon, like, demonic Digimon himself in a sense or whatever. Like, he has associations with a lot of, like, dark Digimon specifically. So, like, when this episode happened, I'm like, at first I got my hopes up way too high. And I'm like, oh, is Ruri going to lose this card game? Is Ruri going to lose? And we learn that Piedmon was behind the fortune teller tent, like behind that whole thing. And everyone has to go through a character arc to, like, save Ruri from Piedmon. They have to, like, have a whole, like, story arc about it. And it's like, okay, that'd be really cool. You've clearly got a bunch of, like, good Digimon here. You have a good, like, variety of things they can do. Like, Piedmon's abilities could, like, put them in a bunch of, like, really fun and interesting situations. And it's like, nah, they just kind of win on luck. And then Piedmon is just like, alright, well, I guess I'll just buy a deck of playing cards and not mess with people again. Alright, later. And he just buggers off.
Yeah, they do the thing where it's like, oh, might makes right, and like, you won the card games, that means you're the strongest, so I have to obey what you say. And she's like, yeah, no more turning people into cards.
Ruri is once again the strongest and the fastest.
Yeah. Ruri's just like, no more turning kids to the cards. And Piedmon's like, okay, well, you're the strongest, so I guess I have to listen.
Yeah, we don't do long-running arcs in Ghost Game. That's like, not. Don't think you would even have to make it that long. Just like, hey, take like maybe 2 or 3 episodes, maybe. Maybe like someone else is like, all right, I'll challenge you for Ruri, and they like manage to like win her back. Maybe have a fun thing with it. No, we're not allowed. All right.
Nah, this was fine as a one-off.
Never forget that, like, the actual, like, dealing with Devimon and, like, adventure is, like, what, like, 2 or 3 episodes of actually encountering him?
Yeah.
Like, Devimon didn't even, like, show up that much, and yet his arc has, like, such a big impact on, like, the fan base.
Yeah. And as I have to constantly remind myself, Devimon and his variants are champions.
Oh, yeah. They're all
Like,
champions until you get to, like, Neo Devimon and Dun Devimon.
yeah, but those are like created for the reboot. They didn't exist.
Yeah. For, like, years, the only thing any Devimon variant could evolve into was Lady Devimon, because she was the one ultimate.
Yeah, I'm glad they gave him like his own actual line of evolution. So it's actually um,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just like, oh yeah, Devimon can have an effect as a character because like if he's a champion who is way too strong for a champion, it gets old really quick.
Yeah. It's like, I should clarify that a bit. It's like Lay Devimon, Marine Devimon, and Skull Satamon specifically, and it's like, alright, those are your 3 options. There you go. Those are the 3
Yep.
things it can become. Just go nuts with that.
Yeah. Yes, that's why I'm glad that Devimon has a presence past his form as Devimon.
Yeah, Adventures OPR is just well done characterization wise. Deli could have used more time with Daemon, but yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. It was like a good arc. It was like could have been better because, like, of course, like, Adventure's still kind of flawed in places. But it's like, yeah, overall, it's like, yeah, it's like really cool for like the first big villain to actually be like cunning and a schemer, and he like actually acknowledges his own weakness and like uses that to his advantage instead of just, showing up and just taking on all the kids at once for no reason. He's like, yeah, what? Even for me, take on 5 megas at once is a tall order. Oh, wait, no, it's not on 5, it's like 6 or 7? Okay, yeah, screw that. I gotta weaken these kids and then split them apart. Hard cut to Ice Devimon just fighting every, like, beast spirit at once. And he's winning.
Easily, I might add.
Oh yeah, effortlessly. Oh man. Just, I really that's like the one thing they don't keep with any Devimon reappearance, is the fact that he's like, a tricky schemer, and that's such a large part of his appeal.
Yeah. Ice Devimon shows up as like a power threat in Tamers because Renamon can't turn into a champion yet.
Yeah, at least that makes sense.
I think that's the episode she gets Cubimon.
Wait, no, it's not. No, she had Cubimon earlier because she fought like Dokunamon. Dokunamon. Yeah, the giant spider.
Right.
And they fight Ice Devimon, and it's just hard because, he's just kind of strong, but, that's still fine,
right.
Yeah.
Right. The problem is that, like, Rika and Renamon were, like, fighting or something, so they weren't together at the time.
Yeah.
That's what the conflict was.
Which is, like, so, like, even at the time when we were taught that episode, we were just like, oh yeah, what? Why wasn't the Ice Devimon episode the one where we get Renamon's evolution? Because it makes so much more sense. It's fine, yeah. Which Opnar is just well done. Yeah, it was more of a Rika and Renamon bonding episode. Yeah, it's more of a character episode, which honestly I'm fine with that. But yeah, I feel like it really can't be understood that it's like, despite the complaints I'm having about missed, like, potential and opportunity, and the fact that, like, this episode would have been so much more interesting if the heroes failed. It's like, Yeah, this is a really good episode. Like, really good, like, setup, good premise. Like, the visuals are so on point. Like, it's hard to even really describe. Like, just
Yeah.
Piedmon be able to just teleport people around and just showing up, like, as soon as, like, like, the screen transitions and stuff. Like, the directing for this is so good, though. And it's like,
Yeah.
man, if only they made,
Episodes.
like, a few changes here and there.
Yeah, episodes that have nothing to advance the plot can be good. This is evidence of that.
Yeah, like the fact that Piedmon just transforms by putting himself in the box and like you see this flash of light that shows his like silhouette before the box explodes into cards and has the reveal. It's such a good touch.
Piedmon's like facial expressions and like animations and everything are just so good.
It's such a good episode. I just wish the conclusion was more clever than it was.
I again, I think it's fine. He's a mega, so they needed a non-combat solution to beat him.
I mean,
And
the
the way
solution to
and
the card game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, yeah, there's so much you could have worked with without like, using any more time or budget. They'll have been like, okay, what? This is a clever way to do it. And maybe it's because I've watched too much Yu-Gi-Oh! And Kakagurui, but I was kind of expecting that going in. Heck, maybe I've watched too much JoJo's.
I'm also not against the idea that it's like it's solved by luck because like I don't know, it just makes sense. It's a card game.
Yeah. It's just like with the pieces they set up and play for it would have been like it would have like raised it so much for me, right?
Hmm.
It's like, okay, if Rui actually like outthinks him, then like it would make sense that Paimon's like, okay, well, hey, you are the strongest, you did manage to win. It's like, okay, yeah, there's a bit more to it. She actually figured something out and managed to, like, outwit him, basically, in this scenario, as opposed to, like, just being luck. Like, even if there's, like, some element of, like, oh, hey, if you, like, show your fear, you'll turn to a card or something, or, like, if you show weakness or something, like, even that will have, like, add something to this, I think. That's the thing. I feel like this could have used like any twist to it, like really any twist to the whole card game at all to just make it just a bit more interesting. Man, it's like we hadn't even talked about like the B plot to the card game technically, which is that yeah, Ruri's fine to save all these kids, and meanwhile like Betel Gamamon is fighting Flare Wizardmon, and every time Ruri loses a round, Piedmon shoots a light sword into Betel Gamamon and like weakens him, and every time she wins a round, like Piedmon weakens his own Digimon and like weakens his own underling with the same method, so her winning or losing is dictating like the flow of the fight basically, and it's so well done. It's so good though.
Yeah, Rolly's like, hey, like the first sword shoots out into Betel Gamamon, and Rolly's like, hey, that's not fair. And then Piedmon's just like, oh, but if you win around, it'll weaken my allies.
Yeah.
It's
He's
like, okay,
yo, what?
that's
You're
fair.
right. Yeah, I'll make it fair.
As long as he's not cheating, that's totally fair.
Yeah, it looks like it hurts when he did that, yeah. Piedmon should have not cheated, and Ruri should have, like, 100% cheated. Oh, man. Jeez, this episode. Like, there's so many good touches, holy crap. Yeah, I really like Piedmon this. Yeah, it's like... Did we even talk about him, like, turning Gormon into a real rabbit after, like, trapping him in a box for the entire episode?
No, but that happens.
Yeah. You, like, turns him into a little bunny, and it's, like, this little purple rabbit. And immediately all the freaking Angoramon artists on Twitter are like, oh yeah, let's do that.
Rabbit
You know what?
time.
Let's go. I mean, that's another thing I really like, is that it's like, yeah, all the Digimon, Piedmon Circus have, like, just very believable disguises. Like, they're all disguising themselves as, like, clowns and circus animals and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's such a nice touch that it's like, you know, they're not just running around as Digimon. They have, like, you know, a backup plan so they don't get found out. Yeah, like I said, Cutting maybe a little cruel, but he's fair. Oh yeah. I appreciate that a lot. This is like a good Piedmon. I should also mention one other little, like, small observation is that it's like, yeah, this Piedmon looks different from the old one. Like, he doesn't have the green eye on the right side of his face. Instead, that eye slot is just sort of, like, blank.
It's not, actually. There is an eye, there is an eye in there.
You just don't see the iris or, like, the pupil or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a blank, like, thing. Like, you're not seeing his green eye. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, that's a nice touch. Honestly, I think it makes him look a bit better, realistically. Because it's like, it really sells the two halves thing his mask has going with it. But yeah, holy crap, good episode. I really wish we had plot though, but you know what? This is like a good filler episode. Yeah, it's a dirt design. More of the revamped design. That's the revamped design going forward. I would buy it. I feel like that'd be like a good decision. Like, I'd believe that. And like, was the preview for the next episode? It was something like, I don't know, man. What if
Oni's
yeah, what
stealing
if
people or
Onis
something?
stole things? Yo, what if there is an ogre and he, like, stole a dude? Wouldn't that be scary?
Yeah, we don't see any
yeah.
indication of what the Digimon's gonna be, so your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like, the only thing that's coming to mind is like Ogremon, like Titamon maybe? But like, that seems way too far. There's no way we're gonna have them like fight a Mega like that this soon. I'm like, realistically, they probably could do it if they all teamed up, but I mean, yeah, that'd be a bit of a problem. Hang on, let me like check something real quick. Cause like, let me see. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, I feel like usually, yo, on like the actual like, yo, Digimon like wiki site, like, I've kind of noticed that before the episode actually comes out, people kind of like speculate on what the next Digimon is, and you know, that thing will be like trending before the actual episode. I haven't used it to like really predict anything. It's just something I've kind of noticed of like, you know, it's sort of like, oh, it's weird that this thing would be here and it like appears in the thing. And it's like, yeah, no, we got nothing. Wait a second. Never mind, this is also nothing. It's just like, yeah, Wisemon, Myoasmon stuff. Yeah, this is nothing. It's just a bunch of Digimon related to this episode, and also, like, some popular pics. Although, Chaos Piedmon is something I didn't know was, like, a thing. What the heck is this? Oh, never mind. This is Piedmon from Digimon World 2. Right, I forgot. I was like, oh, is this official? It's like, oh, never mind. It's just the recolor, yeah. It's Piedmon, but they just made him all black and white with the red ribbons on his back instead of blue ones, and that's the color swap. That's your Chaos Piedmon. He does everything normal Piedmon does, but he's chaos, you know? He sure is chaotic. It's kind of like society, if you will. Hopefully get some news on the megas for the crew sometimes at least October. Ghost Game turns 1 year then, yeah. It would be cool if one showed up in the show first unexpectedly. Oh yeah, that'd be rad. Like, no card game spoilers, no, like, you know, like, official artwork or anything. It's just like, yo, what? Episode comes out, here's the new evolution. Honestly, I feel like we're not gonna hit that soon. I feel like what's probably going to happen is I feel like the fusion theory might be pretty accurate. I think we're gonna build up Espamon as like a Digimon first and get his other forms, and then we'll be like, oh hey, let's fuse this with Gamamon, and that'll be the Mega. We live in a Digimon society. So yeah. Anything else we really want to say about this? I feel like we kind of covered everything, weirdly enough. Because there's not a lot of plot. It's mostly just like Piedmon just like... Yeah, it's mostly just Piedmon making kids walk the tightrope and then like punishing them when they fail. That's the thing. It's like, I feel like I've said this before. Man, Ghost Game really needs to start doing 2-parters. Holy crap. Because that's the thing. It's like, each episode is its own unique setup and villain Digimon. And they're doing a horror show. So each episode, they're taking their time to build atmosphere and build these weird scenarios. And that just gives them even less time to, like, work with what they have. Like, plots of these episodes are so paper thin, holy crap. But it kind of has to be like that to build up, like, actual horror. Oh man, we really need some longer arcs. Jeez, just do 2-parters, I'm begging you, Digimon. You can just have this episode drag out a little bit, it'll be fine. Just the episodic issue sometimes. 2-episode villains could really work. Yeah. Like, if we just had a bit more time with these characters, it would add so much, because now it'd be like, you know, you can actually explore what these villains are about and stuff, instead of just being like, oh hey, it's an evil Digimon, and they sure are obsessed with this one thing, let's just beat them, and they never do the thing again. There they go. Man, I feel like that's been, like, my biggest issue so far, outside of just the lack of plot and the blatant disregard for any, like, narrative, like, progress. Because I'm, like, thinking through, it's like, alright, Black Digimon have gone, like, nowhere. We might not even get an answer to that. Espamon's solution to his whole thing, the big mystery he built up, was nothing. It was the most disappointing thing ever. Hero sends a message to his dad and it's built up for weeks, nothing. Like, it's so useless. Dracmon, like, gets built up as a villain and he just shows up just to die. And it's just, whatever, it just doesn't matter. The mystery aspect of the show is so bad, holy crap. It's part of why some of the Digimon reasoning is so thin. Oh yeah. If the Dark Digimon plot got dropped, I swear, we're unironically going to just get to an episode where, like, Gamamon's going to be like, yeah, we'll never have to worry about Gulus Gamamon ever again. And it'll just, like, casually be mentioned, and we will just never worry about it ever, and that'll be that character. Just nothing will come from it. We're going to see Black Agumon, and he's gonna be like, oh yeah, I was following you guys because I want help from Hero, but I was too shy to ask. And that'll be why they're like ominously watching every time Gulu's Gamon shows up. That's literally gonna be the explanation. It's just going to be like, yo, like the black Digimon were just like wanting Kiro to help them with a problem, and that's all there was to it. Holy crap. Oh man. So yeah, do we have any other thoughts about this?
Nope.
Oh, wildest ghost game theory, go.
I don't have any. I'm just gonna watch it and see what happens.
Awesome. Happens in these types of shows all the time, and how to love Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows where some interesting aspects of the show never was talked about again or just outright dropped. Fun episode. Oh yeah, fun episode. Pretty good one, yeah. Please give more plot, though. Alright, I guess I'll see you guys around.
Yeah. Later.